Hi, welcome back to Frequency Intuitive. Thank you so much for being here. Today we are doing a pick a card reading about what is going on in your energetic situation and what do you need to know about it? What would help you, give you some insight, clarity, guidance. Everybody is welcome here. Please only take what resonates for you and leave the rest for somebody else in your group who that message may be for, and apply this to whatever faith, doctrine, belief system is in alignment with you. So if I say the universe and you believe in God, then you feel free to read along with me and make it in the tone that works for you and that you can hear it in. So we have 4 piles today. Pile 1 is this card here, card 16. And it says, Midas touch, things are working out in your favor. In what ways are you abundant right now? And I selected this jade and quartz cloud crystal, depending on what you feel drawn to. And just go with your instinct, because just because the card says something, it doesn't mean that that's the message that's going to come through. It's just the placeholder that would your frequency or your energy or you're most likely to be drawn to, and then those messages will align with that pile. Pile 2 is card 3 with you cannot make a mistake. There are infinite possibilities available to you. Where is your heart guiding you? And this moonstone lotus flower crystal. I apologize if my voice is still raspy. And pile 3, card 28. Don't run from the darkness, embrace your shadow side. What aspect of yourself have you been afraid to look at or address? And I selected this labradorite turtle. I couldn't remember the name of that crystal the other day, and now it just came to me. And pile 4 is card 17 with the phrase, trust your faith, dive into the unfolding journey. What is your faith asking of you? And I selected this, is this hematite? And it looks like an opal crystal with this moon on top. I don't think that's hematite. I think I'm saying the wrong one, but it doesn't matter. If you're drawn to it, you're drawn to it, say. Okay, so take your time, pause it if you need to, and when you're ready, I will see you in your group and we will get your messages. Hi, pile 1. Welcome to your reading. You chose card 16, Midas touch. Things are working out in your favor. And in what ways are you abundant right now? And the jazzy jade crystal. I don't know why I wanted to say jazzy jade, but I did. So let's find out your direct message. What is going on for you right now? It could be a situation on your mind. Could just be what's coming in next. Let's see what the strongest energies are. So spiritual strength, card 9 coming out. Interesting, because we are just in the 999 portal. It happened yesterday, so there's some residual energy from that. You could be from the pile in the last reading that the 9 came out. Love begins. I knew this was going to happen for somebody. I was like, there's gonna be a love pile here. So that's the Ace of Cups. I feel one of you wanting to click off. I don't want love. Could be love for your job. Just more love in your life. It could be romantic love. Depends what you're looking for. You're calling in. Action. Okay, the Chariot. Card 17, interesting. There's another pile where 17 came out a lot if you're from there or if you go there next. So that's envy in reverse. Okay, card 20. I only take the cards in reverse if I feel strongly that they're meant to come out in reverse, and I do feel like that one is in alignment in reverse in this particular reading. Sometimes I read the cards as I go. In your pile, I feel like getting them out here. Okay, no place like home in reverse. I am going to take it in reverse. Card 50. And co-create. Also, why is everything coming in reverse for you? Co-create coming also out in reverse. Look at the face of this cheetah. I don't really feel like that one has any particular meaning in reverse. I'm just going to take it upright. Whoa. Okay, you're very close to achieving your goal with gibbous moon coming out. Emotions are running high and a time for healing. Okay, I see what's going on here a little bit. Little bit. And we'll get a few more cards at the end. Actually, I do want to get these now. So if there's something on your mind that doesn't feel like it's going how you want it to, I would say you're in the right place for sure. If there's something on your mind that you're wondering how it's going to play out, this is the energy that I'm getting here. We're getting information on that. Okay. We're not getting that right now. Okay, I can hear it. It's like, no. So what I heard there in my internal screen as I was shuffling was you're going to get this answer towards the end. But I wanted to just keep pushing it because I had already picked it up, the deck, and I was already shuffling it. And I just thought it would be simpler if it just came out there. But I feel like that has something to do with this reading. So there's something that the answer or the information or the clarity is just not going to come right now. It's coming at the end. It's coming towards the later on in this situation playing out. So I don't know what that means to you, but there's something here that is, you're going to have to go a little bit on blind faith and just step into like the dark forest, just step into the dark woods because you know that you want to go to the meadow on the other side, and you're just going to have to kind of navigate the situation a little bit without all of the information. So let me just read the spread here and see what's going on. Some of you could have lost your home or been put out of your home, for example, or felt you needed to leave your home. For example, if like a relationship broke down and you've separated and now you're no longer in your home, or you've had to sell your home because of divorce. I do feel like this has to do with a romantic relationship, either the end of one or the beginning of one or both. Because you have emotions are running high and a time for healing. So I feel like 3 of Swords energy here. I feel like you're going to be relying on, or you have been relying on, your inner strength, your spiritual strength to get through this. Like you may have been doing a lot of self-care, meditating, time in nature. I don't know the timeline. For some of you, this just happened. Like you're coming to this reading because of the breakdown of a relationship and you want clarity. Or for some of you, this was like a year, you know, like within the time span of a year or more, where it was like a big, you know, life-changing tower moment for you, where there was a breakdown of a marriage or a long-term committed relationship or something like this. Or even if it wasn't long-term, it was very intense and either they ghosted or there was infidelity or like something happened. And I see you having to rely a lot on your inner strength. You've been healing. You've been navigating a lot of these emotions. The co-create card, because you have co-create and then there's like the 2 horses here. I see that part of, there was like a, whatever you believe in, karmic or soulmate situation here, where like a soul agreement with the situation that happened, where you guys agreed to meet up and experience this situation in order to learn the lesson and to set you on the path that you're on now. That's why you have that you're very close to achieving your goal, because I think your goal was some other sort of love or relationship that's more I want to say more in alignment with you, but that's obvious. But that's not what it is. It's something that if you didn't experience this other thing, you wouldn't have sought out in this 3D world. It has something to do with paradigms, social constructs, and belief systems. For example, maybe you never thought you would date like a younger person or an older person. And for some reason, the absolving of, I don't know why I'm using that word, absolving, maybe it was like a legal matter, or maybe it came into the courts of this situation. It's somehow it like changed something within you where you're like, you know what, I'm here for love and I don't care about what people think because I've been through the ringer and I want to feel good with somebody. And if that person is younger than me or older than me or a different religion, or like there's something that this other relationship that broke down, that caused you all this pain, and you've been having all this healing from, that you've possibly had to relocate for or are relocating. It was co-created, which of course they all are, but it's just being reminded to you here. It's being highlighted that the reason that happened, and it might bring some peace to you to know that, was a soul agreement before you came here in order to so it's one of those things where you'll be like, I'm so grateful, you know, in maybe now or in the future, you might say, I'm so grateful that happened. I'm so grateful that person cheated on me because I would have never left them. And so now I'm on this path with this new partner and this new life. And you kind of like see them as like one of those rascals, you know, like you see like that energy. You're like, what a rascal. But like you have also like a love and appreciation for them, even if you don't want to be with them anymore, where you see how you would have had, they could have been part of your soul family, where you're like, okay, this is the person, we're going to agree, I'm going to do this to you, it's going to set you on this course, there's going to be a lot of pain, but of course you can overcome it, and then it's going to shift something in you that now makes this new path a possibility for you. That's what I'm getting on this reading. Midas touch, things are working out in your favor, love begins. It's also interesting how it's Midas touch, and there's gold here on the fingertips, and then this is a gold bowl. So I think this new love that's going to be opening up to you, it's like very rare and valuable. It's not like a love you've ever experienced. And like I said, it's as a result of certain constructs or paradigms or belief systems being like bust open, basically. And even like your perceptions and your expectations of relationships, like maybe you always thought you wanted to get married and now like you don't have that mentality. And like you find this person and you see how if you had have been stuck in that old, okay, I need to date, I need to get engaged, I need to get married, this person would have passed you on by because you guys wouldn't have been aligned. That's what's coming up in this reading as a very like kind of specific message. But let's see why you would want to know this. I feel like it's clarifying, I think, some of what happened for you and encouraging you, giving you this hope. I want to clarify envy in reverse. Who is envious, or what does that have to do with anything? Oh, okay. I don't even need to clarify that. I just got that right away. So you've been feeling envious, and envy is not a bad emotion. It's just the emotion of, I wish I had that someone else has. So you're no longer going to be feeling that about other people's relationships and love, because see, this person's here like in the shadows. They're looking out over, again, this golden village here, this golden, what's it called when it's like a kingdom. And you may have been looking at other people's relationships. It's possible that your parents had a very like specific messages coming out. Like I feel like I'm doing a personal reading. So it's possible like only one or two of you pick this, because I can like, I'm narrowing and really strong on your energy, where usually it's a much more general. But it's possible that either your parents or you saw some sort of relationships growing up. It even could have just been in movies and media where you romanticized that because you had examples of this like deep love, and it could be possible that you're getting on an earth years, you know, in quotations, because we're not really getting on anywhere because we're not going anywhere, but it could be that you're starting to kind of feel pressure, like, oh my gosh, why am I so, you know, all my friends are married and they have found their person, and why have I not? And like, I thought this was going to be easy because I witnessed all of these healthy relationships, and I'm kind of giving myself a headache going into this energy. So I see you no longer feeling that way, but not because you find this love. I see you feeling that way and then you finding this love, you aligning with it. But I think it has to do with releasing and kind of forgiving this past situation. Once you release that, I know people always say that, but it's because it's true. And you kind of soften the energy, the rage, and you might not be ready for that. You might be, or you might not be. This could be something that happens over the next like year, or this could be something that you're like, yeah, actually right now I could soften that energy and see how it has been benefiting me, and see how I could see how now that, you know, I can look back on it and the really intense emotions have settled down, that we really weren't on the same path, and that this actually has changed me in such a good way that it wouldn't have if I hadn't had that experience. Now I'm ready for this deck. You're ready for this deck. So let's see what messages come out here. I'll be very curious because it was very time appropriate. I feel like timing is key in this. Yeah, because you're very close to achieving a goal. So if it's about love, it could be about something else. It could be like a project or something, because you have this abundant Midas touch action. So it could be like peripheral to love, like you're trying to find a new home, for example, because of the breakdown of a relationship. So it's possible that like you're very close to achieving your goal, things are working out in your favor, and you find this place, you know, so you find that stability. So apply it to whatever is on your mind. But it definitely had to do with the breakdown of a romantic connection in the past, or one that's currently happening. It's like the timeline's like a spectrum. You're either went through that or you're going through it. You know what I mean? Messages, strong messages for file 1, please. Yeah, and I see you really, like, I see you like this figure here, like really holding yourself up on this spiritual strength. Like you're like, I'm really trying to keep it together here, or you were, because you probably had to go on with life. And maybe couldn't address all of the heartbreak that you were feeling. We have one card coming through. There we go. Okay, both of these are like ancestor cards. So you have, look at all the ancestors. Okay, you have Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations. Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. Laying foundations, divine plan. There was a greater purpose. There was something being seeded. There was something being planted within you. There was a foundation being laid that this situation was necessary in order for your soul expansion to occur, and in order for your 3D ego identity to proceed on this new path that you wanted. Like you would have just lived a completely different timeline if this thing hadn't happened. And that's why you arranged it before you came here. That was the soul intention, where you were like, okay, in this year, if I start to go down this path, we're going to meet, and this is the agreement. This is the contract. We're going to play this out, and that will set me on the right path. So sometimes when you look at it in that way, it depends on your belief system, but if that resonates with you, and then you feel now in control, you're like, oh wait, I orchestrated this. Maybe I don't remember that because we don't remember the intentions we came in with all of the time. But then it puts you back in the driver's seat. You're like, oh wait, I predestined this. I sat down and outside of this time space reality and orchestrated this, you know, along with divine timing and the oneness of the universe and all of that in alignment with that. And so that kind of might ease some of the frustration and pain. And then you also have counsel of like divine orchestration. Oh, I didn't even read this card. I was getting that word so strong. Orchestration. You could have something to do with music or conductorship or orchestrating things in your life, because that word was coming out before I read this card. Divine orchestration. That's what I'm saying. That's what your whole reading is called. Helpers in the subtle realms. So I feel like, look at all of these like deities. There's like Jesus, Buddha. Okay, those are the only ones I know. I'm sorry, but you can see. So whoever you resonate with, they're all here on this card. And then even there's like Egypt here, and you have Anna, grandmother of Jesus. So you could have Christian ties or whatever other deities you see here, but it's just giving you the energy of like, this has all been divinely orchestrated and it didn't happen for no reason. It wasn't completely, and I feel like in a strange way, doesn't that give some comfort? It's like you're so seen. You're so seen and you're so important and you're so you're so integral. It's not just willy-nilly happening and no one knew and you were alone and this tragedy happened or this drama. It was orchestrated. Everyone was involved at the higher realms. Everyone was watching it play out. Everyone was supporting and guiding and cheering you on and knowing the purpose of it and knowing how the best is yet to come for you and how this is all going to serve this greater purpose for you. It's possible you could have been really down and out. Like I see it for some of you, this also coincided with another big life event. Like you also had an accident, or you also had a health issue, or you also lost your job. Like it was a very dark time for you that I feel like you're either going through or you're coming out of now. That's why like this spiritual strength is here. And you've been really healing from this. For some of you, this had to do with an automobile accident or a motorcycle accident. Card 3. Okay, so there's another pile that I would suggest you find. You've had a number of cards that are similar because you have card 3 coming out, which is the Empress, and card 17 came out in another pile. For some reason, I don't want to say. Usually I say, but for some reason, I don't want to say. Maybe because it'll be more synchronistic to you when you find that pile, or if you did pick that pile than me telling you. Does that make sense? Page of Ariel, and Ariel also came out in that pile. Reliable, clever, educated, balanced, and excellent opportunity will be offered to you. Scholarships or the pursuit of education, time to get to work. Okay, and you have this action card. I'm going to put this with the action card. So there's something that, like, you might have been off work. Like I said, job loss or the accident. You could have been on disability, or the health issue. There's something that it's like the energy from this past thing is wrapping up. And you're starting to get into this like ace energy. Like I would say you have ace, would have all the aces if I was pulling more cards. Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of, what am I forgetting? Ace of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, Ace of, why can't I remember the other ace? Okay, so whatever the aces that I'm forgetting, I think that's the one you need to work on, because it's not even, I can't pull it from the field, which is hilarious because this is the most basic. Oh my gosh. Cups, water, wands. I'm so confused. Pentacles, air, and action. You need to take action, which is what it says. Time to get to work, the pursuit of education or scholarships. So this could be you've been wanting to go back to school, or you need some sort of credentials. This is confirmation. Time to do that. Time to do that. Apply, put in your application, get the grants, line up your finances, do the research. You're very close to achieving a goal. Oh my gosh. And then this card. I'm just reading this. The Empress, card 3, Archangel Gabriel. Time to act upon your plans. So that's what your reading is about. It's acknowledging that you've been going through a very difficult time. Very difficult time. You've had to harness an incredible amount of spiritual strength and physical strength to get through this. Incredible amount. Incredibly healing, like you've been in a time of healing, recovering. Emotions are running high. Very emotional. It's been completely divinely protected, even if you've felt alone. You've been so supported in the other realms. You may have lost your home, or been looking for a home, or been not feeling at home, or been feeling out of place. And now, as you come to this reading, is the time for you to move out of that energy, embrace ace energy, Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, Ace of, why can't, like, it's air, but that's not the suit. Pentacles, Cups, Wands, Swords. Good Lord Almighty. Good Lord Almighty. I feel you guys, like can you see me? I'm leaning on the table. I'm weary. I'm weary from trying to figure that out. I feel you're like 10 of Wands. You're 10 of Swords. Okay, so you see what's happening? You're at the end of a cycle. You were in tens. You were carrying heavy burdens, heavy mental. Whew, the Wands and the Swords that you're dropping, and you're releasing all of this. A lot of things are going to start to shift. It could be like a divorce settlements coming through, or your disability payment. You know, like there's something that, like a lawsuit, or there's a lot of mental and physical burden that's going to be releasing soon if it didn't just. Like in the later part of this year, like starting now, going into the next 3 months. And you're going to shed the 10, all that fullness, because we also just went past this blood moon, the blood moon. Ooh, my heart chakra. I feel like a pinching in under my left, like, rib, like I'm fine. Don't worry about it. I get it when I get it in readings. Like your heart is pinched like the Grinch, like not like the Grinch in that you are Grinchy, but just like your heart was so broken by what happened. It just became like a pea-sized shriveled up edamame bean. And I feel like you're just like Jack and the Beanstalk, Midas touch. Things are working on your, everything's up, but everything's growing, everything's blooming. It's Empress. It's planting seeds. It's fertile. It's fertility. It's abundance. Like you're shifting out of that energy. Like if nothing else happens in your day, let this reading activate you. Put this in your field. Put this in your awareness. Put these activations in your mind. You're shifting out of that stale edamame energy, and you're like planting a Jack and the Beanstalk with your edamame bean, with your shriveled up, feeling like nothing's working out for you, feeling like what the heck just happened to me, feeling like why did I go through this? But you have a shriveled up edamame bean, and man, is it magic. That is magic, and you're planting it. And as you start to take this action, plant these ideas, you continue to rely on your spiritual strength. It's like everything you touch, Jack and the Beanstalk, just blossoms and blooms and grows, and it's luxurious and it's thick and it's everything, and it's a mix, and it's a, ooh, like I can feel it. It's like, you know, that Jack and the Beanstalk, and it like just grows, and it's like so stable and steady and like abundant, and all of these like shoots of flowering flowers and beans grow, and you have food forever. And it just, everything that happened from that situation clicks and blossoms into this future timeline that you're on. That's going to be just everything that you've been wanting, but you're at the beginning stages of it. You're in one energy. So it may not, you may not experience that like tens agains of abundance and tens of cups and stuff until Pence of Pentacles, maybe for a couple of years or whatever, but it doesn't matter because the energy that you're going into is so fresh. This one energy, all this newness is beginning. New abundance, new love, new ideas, new energy, new thoughts, new paradigms, new mind state, new alignment. You're in new vibration. You're in new frequencies. Creativity is rewarded, and luxurious or abundant resources. Yeah, like I said, it could be a settlement. Something is coming in from whatever happened, the accident or a divorce or something, or just a retirement plan or a package or a new job that you get or a promotion or a new salary. You sell a house and the money comes in. There's some windfall coming in, but it's not really about the money. It's about the peace of mind, and it's about the feeling of fulfillment and satisfaction, because I see you sitting there in your world, whatever you do, on your couch, your chair, your deck, your porch, your car. You're going to have this moment coming up soon where you feel like, I'm on the other side of this. I stepped through the door. I'm on the other side of this, and I feel curious. I feel excited. I feel interested. I feel positive. I feel like exploring. I feel expansive. I feel good. I'm excited to see what's next on my path in this journey of life. And that is an incredibly beautiful reading. I love this for you. If this did resonate, I would so appreciate an energy exchange, which is you can do by subscribing, liking, commenting, just sending good vibes, sending it to a friend. If you feel called to, I would appreciate that, because I'm on my journey to get this channel monetized and hit my 1,000 subs so that I can continue to do this and share my gifts as part of my career and life's work. And if not, I appreciate you being here, letting me read for you anyways. All my love and blessings for you on this journey. If you do have, if you did feel called to another pile, there's probably more messages for you there. So if you're going there, I will see you shortly in another group. If not, I will see you in another reading on another day. Bye. Hi, pile 2, you have card 3, which is going to confuse me the whole reading. I'm going to be calling you pile 3. You cannot make a mistake. There are infinite possibilities available to you, and where is your heart guiding you? And you have the lotus flower growing from the mud, if that resonates. Okay, let's see what's going on for you and a direct message that you may need to know at this time. Okay, this direct message would like to come out. Card 4 with foundations and achievements. That's the 4 of Wands. That's like the happy family card, you know, kind of like having everything you want, having the 4 legs of the table under you. It did come out in reverse. I mean, so it's quite possible that that's something you're aiming for, that you're looking for, that you don't feel you have now. Stand your ground. This hardly ever comes out. Okay, that's a 7 of Wands and a solar plexus chakra. Okay. Just if you're new here, I don't take reversals unless I strongly feel that it should remain in reverse for like purposes of the strength of the reading. Otherwise, I just read it whichever way I intuitively read the card. I'm so interested that this came up. This hardly ever comes up. Stand your ground. I think it's come up once before recently. Oh my word. You know, the way that they came out, so explosive, I have to take them all. Let me just get the ones from the floor. Oh, yeah. Okay. Usually I get 2 cards from that deck, but we aren't here to argue with the deck. So, what do we got here? Okay, we got Storm Warning. Card 10. I feel like that was in your past. We got Door to Spirit. We got Man Holding a Heart. Look at this. Door to Romance. Not you having 2 romance cards coming out at once. We have Walking Away and Cornucopia. Wow. Okay. You may have messages in another pile because a couple of these cards came up in different piles. I won't say which. And you may have like a twin flame or a strong partnership coming in, or that you're aware of, because you have 11 and you have 33 and you have 2 3s in the middle here. 3 3 3 3 11, which I just take as like mirroring or bookending or reflecting, whatever you want to call it. Pairing, a pairing. Okay, so let's see. So there's a lot going on here. A lot. I'm getting that from, what is that from? Jim Carrey. A lot. Is that from Dumb and Dumber? I don't know. There's a lot. Wow, I don't know why I'm adding more, but I am. I just want to. Treasure Island. Okay. I'm gonna have to squeeze this all in. Yeah, there may be a lot coming into your life that you feel like you need to squeeze it to fit it all in. Like a lot of good things. Like all of a sudden, maybe you were feeling like a little like 4 of Cups, like not much is going on. Orphaned. Yeah, like look at this energy you just come from. Storm Warning. Orphaned. Like it's all this past energy. Feeling left out in the cold, feeling left by somebody. And then all of a sudden, it's like 4 of Wands, Cornucopia, Door to Romance, Man Holding a Heart. It's like all this like abundance, Treasure Island. I'm actually putting this over here. Because there are some things going on here that have occurred and that be occurring. Okay? And I need them to make it make sense. And I'm making it make sense. You guys have humor, I can tell. I have to make it make sense. Give me one moment. Because it happens in a very specific order. Okay. Okay, rabbit. I don't know what is going on. Are you guys like comedians? Okay, rabbit. Everything's like coming out like funny. Okay. Okay, I gotta stop that. Okay, let me get some of these because I just want to settle in and then just read the whole thing and not have to keep getting cards in a second here. Because this is about to tell a whole dang story, okay? This is about to be a whole encyclopedia of your life timeline, and we're gonna sort it all out, make it make sense. Wow. This is spanning a lot of time. Okay. Have faith in your dreams, the waxing crescent, and don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo. Okay. I'm laughing because I can already hear that some of you are like, well, I'm not gonna. Okay, you don't need to do anything you don't want to do. But let's just hear it out. Hear the cards out. Okay, you guys. First of all, take a seat because y'all be exhausted, right? Oh my word. Get yourself a treat. Like, okay, very similar energy in some respects to, like I said, almost two other piles, possibly one. You might have watched every group because you deserve it. You need like all the information and clarity and like accolades and encouragement and insight and advice and guidance, not because it's a mess, but because you've been through so much and you haven't given up, and you're still looking for answers, and you're still seeking, and you're still inside, and you still have your humor, and you're still open to love, and you're still creating, and you're still manifesting, and you're still standing your ground, and you're still strong. Oh my gosh. You may have lost faith in your dreams. That could be why you're here. You may have gotten so mixed up in the tornado of life that you lost your direction point, which I feel like might have been part of the plan, but I don't know why, but it's always part of the plan. That's why I'm saying that. Oh, there is a tornado here. I had strong tornado imagery, and I was going to say it's quite possible you lost your home from a tornado, or you were involved in a hurricane or a tornado, or an individual or circumstance that you have literally said, I feel like it was a tornado moving through my life, like a time period. But look how all these pillars are still standing, but the one that was weak. So it only broke down what needed to go. It's possible you lost your home, like I said. It's possible you feel orphaned. It's possible you were abandoned, either by parents, parental figures, the government, or a person. I don't know why the government came up, but that'll make sense if it's you. It's possible you had to walk away from a lot of things, or you felt that people walked away from you, because we have walking away and orphaned, which is a very like specific energy. I feel like you feel you were left. I feel strong emotions coming through. Like one to two of you are feeling like heavy emotions, tears. Let it out. Let it out, because it cleanses. There's actually a chemical process that occurs in your body when you cry that releases and helps kind of reactivate certain new hormones and chemicals that your body needs at a cellular level. I don't know why that's coming up. I don't even know if that's accurate, but from the field. I pulled that from the field. Oh my gosh. Okay. Like I said, take a seat. I feel like you guys need to be like at a luxury spa vacation. Like, I feel like you sometimes think if I had the money and the resources, I would go to one of those wellness centers where you just detox and you meditate and you're just in peace and you like heal. Because I feel like you've been in such a state of chaos and emotional upheaval. You haven't even had time to process so much of this because life kept going. And there were things that you needed to attend to. There could have been homelessness here. There could have been a lot of children that you had to care for or another person. And you were like, I can't even process that just happened because I'm fighting for my life. So I'm going to stuff that down because you had no other choice. It was survival mode. You've been in survival mode. Heavy, heavy, heavy survival mode. But what that's done, the stronger the pain and the stronger the desire, the stronger the pain and the stronger the heartache or trauma or loss, it's equivalent strength in desire for the opposite. Everything is duality. So the more you feel abandoned, the stronger you now want to belong and feel at home. The more you have lack, the more your spirit calls for more. The more you feel pain, the more your spirit calls for comfort and peace and ease. Like the more you have dis-ease, the more you call for ease. It's natural. It's natural expansion and evolution. It's a natural byproduct of contrast. If you're hungry, you're going to want to eat, right? If you're thirsty, it makes you want to be hydrated. So it's not a lack of purpose. I feel like your soul, if you believe in this, had pre-intentions to create at a large scale level. Like you didn't come here for mediocrity. And you didn't come here for like a basic, life. No, that's not shade. Like everyone has a different journey. Some people they came for that. But you said, I want to live big this time. I want to love big. I want to experience wealth and abundance and things that not everyone's going to experience in this life. And so sometimes or often, or maybe every time, I don't know, depends on the consciousness of the soul and all of that stuff. But a soul will sign up for a very difficult beginning because they know that energetically it will cause them to create the in the etheric realm, the possibility and the timeline, all of the possibilities that exist, but it would allow them to identify that timeline and reach for it and find it. I just felt to move that don't let pride get in your way with stand your ground and door to spirit over here. So you could be at a crossroads. You could be at the tipping point. You could be starting to neutralize the situation where you're like, okay, I've come from that. I feel like it's in my past, even though some of it affects my present. But now what? Because look at all these doorways. Like I said, infinite possibilities, infinite portals. You've created all of these timelines. And I feel like this reading is reminding you, which one do you want to choose now? Because when you get to that neutral point, it can sometimes feel like nothing's calling you forward anymore because you're out of the fire. Like you've been out of the frying pan into the fire. Is that the saving? The saving. What the heck? Is that the saying? And so often when we're in that energy, when it calms down and the momentum dies out and it neutralizes, it can feel like, okay, I'm safe. So don't rock the boat. I see you standing in a boat and you've just found your stability and you're like, do not breathe. Nobody look left. Nobody look right. No one take a picture. No one pointed a fish. No one pointed a whale, because if somebody rocks this boat, I'm going to lose my ish. because you've just found your stability, I feel like you may not be open to reaching further. Which I mean, that makes sense, man. You could be a pile where English isn't your first language, or you have like a different heritage, because when I say certain words, it like lingers in the air and I don't know what the word means. Like, did I just say man? Did I say that makes sense, man? Because like when that happens, when there's an energy here that's English is not the first language, I can't, the word, the word like dissolves and it goes into like your translation. So I could feel someone being like, what does that mean? Because I'm not a man. Like, anyway, it's hard to explain, but that's just, if that's you, there's definitely, this is your message, because I can feel your energy strongly in the field. I don't know why I keep saying that in this reading. You could be into like quantum exploration and stuff like that, because that's that terminology. Sometimes I use the terminology of like the people that they're reading. For some of you, you're into like transurfing and timeline jumping and quantum, like I said, quantum mechanics, quantum. You're interested in that, or you're going to start exploring that. Okay, so let's move out of that energy and shift into what's coming down the timeline here. What are the possibilities? Because I've never seen such a good reading. You literally have two romance cards. Door to romance, man holding a heart. I don't think these have ever come out together. You have Treasure Island, which is this treasure chest on the back of this turtle. Oh my gosh, that would have been so cool if the turtle was your guys' thing. But you may have messages there. I haven't filmed it yet, so I can't tell you. There's a turtle pile. Or turtles could be meaningful to you. I'm hearing Tartoga. Is that something? Is that a different word for turtle? Or is that a place? Tortoga? I'm not sure. Comment down below if you know what I'm talking about. But there's treasure chest and there's hearts. Also coming out of this one. Then you have card 11 with cornucopia, which is like this Jupiter abundant energy with literal like abundance of a harvest here. And then you have faith in your dreams and door to spirit, which and then of course like this foundation of achievements, Four of Wands card, which is kind of like the same thing, like happy family, your home is good, you're happy, you have people around you that you love, you have food, a roof over your head, you have food on the table. It's like, a happy life. Then you have this door of spirit card 32 showing it's quite possible you haven't opened that door in a while. Why do you have stand your ground too? There's a lot to get to here still. But let's just stay here for a second on the future, on where you're going. There's a dream that you forgot you had, about a dream for your life, that when you were a little child, you would imagine this. Try and remember what that was, because it doesn't mean you have to do that. It just means that the nostalgic feeling will reactivate within you a very core part of you before all of this trauma happened. And for some reason, that's important for where you're going. Like, if you have anything from the past, I would go look at it if it's not triggering, like old pictures. There's something there, like a trinket or a piece of string or a stamp or a piece of glass. There's something that you used to look at that's so simple. It was like a trinket, but it wasn't like a trinket. It was just something. It was like a talisman. It was something, a charm, but it wasn't a charm. Like I said, it could have been a feather, a rock, a piece of glass. It's something that had such meaning to you when you were younger, and it would activate a certain state of being within you, of curiosity. It would activate like a page ace energy, like curiosity, adventure, ease with the world, confidence. You were so satisfied and fulfilled with this thing. Like, it gave you just hours of interest and pleasure and wonder. Just small, insignificant thing, and it's reactivating that creative kind of solar plexus spirit, like that je ne sais quoi in you. It could be French heritage here. Because I'm also hearing like, because the saying is joie de vivre, like a vivre, joy of living. Or if it's just the joy of what you're beholding, you've forgotten that. Because I keep seeing someone like with a piece of ocean glass, like blue or green, and it just gave you so much pleasure to just look at it. This is a very deep reading. I feel like I'm going into like the recesses of your soul. Like if you were a pantry, a cupboard, and I feel like you're opened up and I'm looking on every shelf. And I'm like, oh, remember you had this here and now you stocked this. And so thank you for letting me do that because I'm very honored. It's not, the readings are not always so open. I can't always go that deep. It actually looks like this card 3. All of these shelves, and I can see into all of your cupboards. So yeah, whatever this dream is, it's really important. I would say this is the crux of the reading. There's something now that you've passed all of this hardship, and that's not coming back, by the way. If you have fear of that, you won't experience that again. That was a, like I said, karmic or soul intended situation. And I very firmly see like this rainbow after the storm. You see this? There's a rainbow after the storm. You're now in the clearing. Of course, there's going to be challenges and, life is life, but you'll never experience that level of hardship again, ever. So let yourself release that and trust that you've found that stability in your boat. And in fact, you're on land now. You're not even in the boat anymore. The boat has come to shore and you're on land and you're going to start building. 4 of Wands, a foundation. But there's a dream that needs to be resurrected. That's as clear as I can say that. And you have to go inwards and know what that is because it's important for your future. It could be anything. It could be a dream of love, of a home, of comfort, of just a state of being. It could be a career, a passion project. You'll know what it is. And I would get back in tune with your spiritual world, whatever that is for you, whether it's God, universe, creatorship, like I said, the quantum realm, your manifestational abilities, your own higher self, ancestors, guides, aliens, whatever, extraterrestrials, whatever you resonate with, for higher consciousness and for like that inner dialogue and that inner relationship. Because I feel like the relationship you've had is like on your knees begging, like you've been in that type of like help me, but you've never had that peaceful relationship with your inner world where you're like, nothing is going wrong, in quotations. I'm at general neutrality, and you engage in that relationship to build and to create, not for rescue missions type thing. So a sign message coming through, I don't know if this will apply to everybody, but whoever it applies to, just take it if it resonates for you. There's something here with this, don't let pride get in your way and stand your ground, that is a little bit blocking or an obstacle to something that you want. For example, say you want a relationship with your family or a certain friend, or a certain romantic connection. But you had to stand your ground on something, maybe to establish a boundary or something like this, but it kind of it morphed into almost a matter of pride. Like, no, now I refuse to talk to you because this happened, and I had to say no, and I had to kick you out, or I had to leave, or I was orphaned, and so now I'm sticking with that position. But, we expand and we evolve. Everybody does. So they have and you have, whether you can perceive it or not. And I feel like it's something that you want. For example, you may want a relationship with this person. It doesn't mean you have to go whole hog, but you may want to interact with them and have them in your life in some capacity. but you're like, nope, because you abandoned me, and so I will never speak to you again because that's what I said. I would just reopen that door if you feel called to, not if it's abusive. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying reopen a door that you don't want to reopen. That's not what we're talking about. If you don't want to reopen that door, then that's not that person. Then that message is not for you. But a door that you want to reopen. Like that you're like, I wish this person was in my life, but I also cannot speak to them because of this, or I cannot trust them because of this. You have to know, like, if that message is for you. I would just examine your own intentions and examine if it's a boundary that you put up that was needed at the time, that maybe now you're in a different place, that you have the strength where you could say, no, I could observe this connection and make sure that it's respectful and let them in a little bit and observe. And if it starts to go south, then I'll pull back, but I could open that door a little bit. It's something like that. I'm going to get a final card for you guys, and then I am going to close the reading because there was so much here. But basically, like I said, there's so much good coming to you. There's love, there's abundance, there's the pursuit of these dreams. You cannot make a mistake. Do not feel like, well, now I've got to pick the right thing. Follow your passions and pick the path, pick the person, pick the idea, pick the task that feels like excitement to you in the moment, and you can't go wrong. Open that door to spirit, get those intuitive nudges, meditate, journal, reflect, and you'll be guided. But this is about, you're at this tipping point. You're moving into this new energy, into a new world. And you're being asked to take the lead. What do you want to create? You can't make a mistake. There's infinite possibilities. Where is your heart guiding you? Yeah, like that's what your reading is about. And the other things that have come up. Final message for pile 2, please. Oh, navigate, yeah. Beacons of light in the night sky are there to guide you. Yeah, this is what I feel you're in the energy of. Like, you're like, what's next? So where do I go? So how do I find the treasure island? How do I find the love? What are my dreams? Where is the abundance? Which door do I choose? And I would go make that connection with your inner world first. What guides you? What's your north node? Is it your intuition? Is it your passions? Is it your feeling of excitement? Do you believe in a higher power? And that's going to help you start to create this second chapter of your life in a way that feels so vastly different from how you started out that it will never cease to amaze you. But I see it here. This person could have significance. I'm just seeing that this figure, you could resonate with this, or this could be someone coming into your life or someone you know. I just got that message for some of you. Okay, I do have to close off this reading because the energy's settling down and I can't keep pulling from it. If it's come to a halt. But I am so appreciative of you being here. I hope that something resonated and you got your messages. If you did and you want to participate in this energy exchange, I would love and appreciate a like, a subscribe, a comment. It all helps my channel and all helps me grow on my journey to monetizing this channel and getting my 1,000 subscribers so that I can continue to share my gifts and do this for my life's work. So I would so appreciate that if you did that already, or if you feel called to do that. If not, thank you anyways for being here. I'm honored to read for you. I appreciate you getting to this part of the reading and spending your time here with me today. I would recommend you probably have messages in another pile based on some of the cards that came out that were similar. So if you are going to another group, then I will see you there shortly. If not, I will see you in another reading on another day. Bye. Hi, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. You chose card 28 with Don't Run from the Darkness, Embrace Your Shadow Side. What aspect of yourself have you been afraid to look at or address? And the turtle. Sorry, I'm distracted because in another pile, I can't remember what it was. This came up where there was a turtle. I don't remember which one. And I kept hearing Tortuga or Tortoga. I don't know if that's a different language for turtle or if that's like a place, but I just heard it again. if that means something to somebody here. So let's find out what's going on in your energy field. And I just saw turtle tattoo. If you have a turtle tattoo, there could be a message. Well, if you have a turtle tattoo, there's definitely a message here for you. That's just like for one person. Or if you have an image of a turtle in your room that you're in, like in a painting or like a wall hanging or like a pillow, I'm seeing. Okay, card 6, Harmony. If the cards come out reversed, I'll just tune in, and if I feel like it strongly is meant, the message is meant to come in reverse, then I'll leave it that way. Otherwise, I'll read it whichever way the energy is coming up. If you're in harmony, if you're not in harmony. Okay, we have card 6 coming out first with Harmony, and then card 8 coming out with Accelerated Motion. This could be about a relationship or a business partnership, a new one, starting to gain speed. Or this could be about something in your life coming into balance, finally becoming harmonious, and it starts to pick up speed. Card 43, Man holding a coin. That's good news. So some sort of financial offer or situation presenting itself here with a pentacle. Doesn't have to be a man, it's not gender specific. Just some sort of, like, this could be a promotion, a job offer, a raise, offer on something like a home that you've been waiting on, someone buying something from you, someone hiring you for something. This could be you just coming into a period of financial stability. Get your bag, I heard. Okay, adjacent possibilities coming out with card 24. I just heard a 6 and an 8, so I don't know what that means. That could be your birthday, 6-8 or 8-6. You could be 68 because it's like a 6 and an 8. That could be your address. Okay, here and now, card 32. Be here now. Are you dwelling in the past about something, or worrying too much about the future? The Fates. Okay, card 17. This came out in another pile. Card 17 has come out. The number 17 has come out in 3 piles now. I don't know why it's relevant, but if you're from that pile, that's the Star. Oh, I'm done with this deck. I'm done with you. Okay. Okay, so some of you could have just ended a relationship or a partnership or like a job, because I heard someone saying that, like, I'm done with you. I'm done with this. Yeah, I'm taking these. Okay. Okay, this also came out in the same pile that the 17 came out. So Priestess, so I won't say which pile, but if you feel drawn to another pile, you will find these 2 cards there. How are you being called to step up and lead? Birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new... Okay, both of these cards came up in that same pile. Okay. Funny, 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 funny. You have 3 of the same cards from a different pile. Okay. And I can't even remember what the message was there. Okay, if I didn't say this card. So Dance with Life. Do something to change your energy coming up. It's just funny how it's like you have a whole deck of cards and then the same cards come out. And I clear them in between with smoke. Birthing a new age. Birthing new... Okay. But this has to do with this shadow sign. Okay. This has to do with harmonizing your internal world. That's why I'm moving this here. Which also brings you into the now. How am I going to do this? Because this is not how I want this. Okay, which moves you forward. Birth's a new age. Puts you in your priestess energy. And then you're dancing with life. Yeah. I'm going to get more cards. I see what's going on, but the story is not developed. For some of you, this has to do with career, and for some of you, this has to do with a relationship. Take time to breathe out. That's why you have here and now. You're either, do you realize, or have you noticed, or take a gander and see if this is accurate. Do you find yourself either mentally running a lot in the past or in the future? Like you're either replaying a conversation that just occurred or something like from a past experience, or you're projecting into the future. Okay, what am I going to do next? What about if this happens? Where's my future partner? What about... I feel like you're completely skipping over the now, which is where you create. So you could be finding a lot of sameness, repeating patterns in your life. Yeah, just don't run from the darkness. Embrace your shadow side. What aspect of yourself? Because if we don't alchemize or become aware of or shed light on, or whatever you want to call it, be real about the things that are in our way or holding us back, or that we feel bonded to, or that we don't want to repeat, it will keep repeating. And if you're happy with that, then that's great. Look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sagittarius energy here. Sorry, what was I saying? Yeah, but if you do want to change it, then you would want to take a look at, what's in that closet if you need to clean it out. I'm just going to get some of these prism cards to clarify some of this energy a little bit. What's the strongest in... Okay, passion. Definitely strong. Yeah, I'm getting strong sadness. I'm getting strong career energy here. Love did come out in a couple other piles like this. So if love is on your mind, it could just be in a different pile. Sadness. Okay, passion and sadness, very polarizing energy. It's funny because this look at the bigger picture card, I feel like every time I try to look at a card, the card makes no sense. Like, even though the card has a meaning. But then as soon as I pull out and just feel into the spread, I understand what's happening. But what does this have to do with you? Like, what's the crux of the matter here? There's a crux. See it? You see it? The way that your reading is coming out is exactly how your mental state, your inner state is. I can't even pinpoint what I'm trying to do or read because I'm either focused on the past or I'm focused on the future. Like, there's stuff here that I can read. Like, I can say, like, I can see it. Okay, you're going to be coming into your high priestess energy. There's going to be financial abundance. There's going to be a lot of harmony in your life. You're birthing some new things. But, like, I'm doing it in that voice because it's like, what is going on? It's like this is something you need to know that's very important here. That's why you're called to this reading. But it's like you're an architect it's like you want to build a house, but you're only ever looking at pictures of the old house that you built and sold and reminiscing on that, or you're focused on designing your new house. But there's no time in your day that you've actually started to take steps towards building the house. Like getting permits and buying lumber and like working in the now. And it's quite possible you're actually in your dream house and you haven't even noticed. Like, it's quite possible that, because even if you're, like, there's still a now, do you know what I mean? Like, so there's still something that you've created that went forward. There's something, you run here, like there's a running. You're always skipping over what is to get to the next. But why is it important? Like a lot of people do that. So like that's just a neutral observation. That's not a judgment. That's not a criticism. You can do whatever you want. It's just a matter of if it's bothering you or causing you disturbance, or if it's somehow interfering with your peace and satisfaction and your ability to create. But I want to know what the crux of the matter is here. Let me get one of these. Can we just get a really strong clarifying message for pile 3, please, about what is really at the heart of this? Okay. So the Page of Michael came out. Truthful, perceptive, analytical, blunt. An exciting new challenge. You have what it takes to succeed. Review contracts or documents thoroughly. Like I said, I feel like this has to do something with a career path, but it's like bigger than that. But you came to the reading for a question about career or passion. But there's something more that's going on here that has to do with your internal world, that message is trying to come through. But this other message keeps layering over top. Like, I'm sorry that there's some cards out of the frame. I know that is not ideal for some people, but I also don't want to layer them. Maybe I'll just layer them a little so that they can all get in, but you can still see the card. I'll just layer it on the border. They're probably not all still in, but this has something to do with your passion. Okay, so see how passion and sadness came out for clarifying about the main... This is a duality. Do you find you're either like super up or you're super down? This is about harmonizing your internal state. And then that will harmonize your external state. Okay, and see, because when I got this Dance with Life card, I got a different message in the other pile it came out with. But this Dance with Life message I'm getting, see how there's 2 people here? This is about dancing with your internal state in order to, A, have more personal satisfaction, fulfillment, and inner peace, and congruency. This is about congruency. You could be at Gemini or have strong Gemini in your chart. You could be a Libra, a Pisces, or have those in your chart, but in a different way from when I said Gemini. But this is about, yeah, like I'm seeing the fight, I'm seeing fighting fish. This is about you dancing with yourself as your own dance partner and learning to harmonize your inner world in order to see the bigger picture, to see that like the light and the dark aspects are both needed. The passion and the sadness are both needed. You don't need to block any of them out. The past and the future are both needed. The in-breath and the out-breath, the ebb and the flow, the leader and the follower, the idea and the action. Because you have this birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. And I feel like it has something to do with like a creative, passionate prospect that has to do with financial remuneration or has financial implications, positive or negative. Okay, so it's quite possible that you feel like you can't get anywhere with something or in life. Like this could be a micro issue manifesting on a macro level. Or this could be a macro issue manifesting on multiple micro levels. But I get the sense that it's like you... For example, if this resonates, you start one relationship, then you get bored of it or it goes nowhere, and then you start another one. You start a project, then you get bored of it, and you start another one. And this is, again, this is no judgment, because it doesn't, that's absolutely neutral. That could absolutely be what your soul signed up for, and is best for you. I'm just saying, if this sounds like you. You start a new job, and then something happens and you leave it. Like, there's so many adjacent possibilities, but why is this a negative thing? Okay, so for some of you, it's just, you need to hear that that's not a negative thing. Like, for some of you, it's harmonizing and understanding that's what your soul came here to experience. That's a natural, that's your specific soul's nature. You like to explore, you like to get into a lot of things, you like to start something, experience it, and then follow it through until the passion runs out, and then you pick up something else, which is how we're meant to live. But if that's causing you, like, a lot of people will criticize that, for starters. So you could have a lot of external noise and guilt about that. And if you're out of alignment, if you're not in harmony with it, you'll attract situations that there's pain points. So you will attract someone who isn't in alignment with that. You'll attract someone who, say, has like attachment issues and wants a long-term partner. And then if you're in internal conflict with yourself about that, then you'll attract a partner who wants you to stay. So then when you do leave, because you feel like the relationship is ran its course, that's going to be a lot of heartbreak. So you could feel like you leave a lot of like fires in your wake. Like, people could say, oh, you just come in and like light fires and then walk away, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's so not my intention. Or people could be like, you start one thing, and then like that boss could be like, oh my gosh, you really put me in a bad spot because I put all this training into you and invested in you, and then you just left. But the thing is, if you're in harmony with that's what you're looking for, that's your nature, and that's what you prefer, and you're at peace with that, then you will attract situations where that's in alignment, where they only need you for a short-term contract. You'll attract a romantic partner where they're on the same page with you, and they enjoy having the fun in the moment, and then that's it, and there's no heartbreak. And there are no fires left in your wake. So that's one message coming through for somebody, but I don't feel like it's the whole reading. So that could just be coming to terms with the fact that that's your nature and that there's nothing wrong with that. And as you become in harmony and accept that about yourself, and you start to see it as a benefit, that'll start to balance out in your world. And you'll start to have financial success even with short-term things. You'll start to have relationship and friendship harmony even with short-term things. You'll start to be able to move forward on things. You won't feel so stuck in the mud of having to pick up all the pieces of the things that you kind of left in your wake. And you'll birth into this new age of accepting this about yourself, of harmonizing these aspects within you and accepting your duality and learning to flow, learning to dance with yourself and life. And that will be something that you embrace about yourself. And it'll just bring you a new peace and satisfaction and fulfillment. Something that you thought was like a negative quality, you'll actually start to see bigger picture. This is your soul's true essence. It's what you enjoy, and it'll bring a lot of adventure into your life. It's Sagittarius energy. There's some Aquarius energy too. It's Gemini energy. But if that's not the message for you, then the second message that's here, because there are two messages, is that you may not like that about yourself, and you may truly desire more long-term things, and that may not be your preferred state of being, to be in that transient state. So if that's not you, then I would say how to create that is to start to harmonize this within yourself. Start to live more from the now. It is really about accepting this duality within you. Like, I feel, okay, so I'm getting strongly that like some of you are like, I have to always be positive, and I have to find a way to achieve this enlightened state, and I have to find a way to be constantly, in my manifesting magician energy, and I have to find a way, I have to, somehow get grips on this future plan so that I can achieve what I want. There's just something here about coming to peace and accepting that there's nothing wrong with either side, and that the duality must exist. And there's going to be days that you have accelerated motion and tons of energy, and then there's going to be days where you're recovering and you're more in a holding state, and you're in a restful state. Because I feel like if that's for you, there is something here. It's like a career path or a project, an exciting new challenge, basically. There's an exciting new challenge, whatever it is, a job, a role, a career path, a passion project. It could be a relationship that I feel like will really start to move forward as you embody this shadow side. Like, stop running from your dark side. And I know that's hard to do, because it's like, how do we do that? It's like accepting it. I picture it as like I don't know, like a person. Like, say you're like super sad. Instead of being like, oh my gosh, I feel sad, I don't know why, I'm annoyed at myself, like, I'm gonna think positive thoughts. Instead, you sit down with like your journal and you like picture hugging that side of yourself and being like, it's okay. It's okay to be sad, and it's okay not to know why. It's okay to just say, today, in this moment, I am sad. The next moment's going to come and I could feel completely different, or I could feel the same, and that's okay, because there's nothing wrong with any of these emotions. I'm processing things. I'm a human. I came here to experience. There's factors outside of my control. Basically soothing yourself like you would a little child. Like, it could be a lot of inner child work. And you could have felt that it wasn't okay to have those emotions as a child. And so that could be why you parent yourself that way. Like, this could be about reparenting and repatterning your reaction to your own self. Like, if a small child was crying, you wouldn't say, I don't think you would say, but it probably was said to you, I'll give you something to cry about, or like, stop crying, there's nothing, like, stop, there's nothing, please don't cry, there's nothing. And instead, you're gonna say to your own self, in your own mind, or out loud if you want, or in your journal, it is okay to cry. Crying is my body. If your body has a natural response to something, trust me, it needs to be there. Crying is your body's natural response that should not be repressed to releasing certain emotions that need to move through you. For example, so you heal that, you accept that part of yourself, you say, I give myself permission to cry. If I need to cry, like, you know how therapeutic it is to cry in front of people, where you can feel it bubbling up, and instead of telling yourself like, oh my God, swallow this down, go to the bathroom, you just let the tears fall and you just say, all right, well, I'm just going to cry right now. One moment, and then you get through it, and then you deal with the discomfort. And do you know what, people are like so in awe of people who can do that, because it's so vulnerable and real, and it's so accepting of your own self in that moment, in the now. Whatever you need to experience, you take the time to breathe out. I feel like it's about this. It's about no longer denying a side of yourself. It also could be the passion side. It could be that you try and neutralize everything. Don't get too excited. Don't get too depressed. It could be that you don't let yourself feel intense emotions. So if you start to get really excited about a project or a job, or you temper yourself, you don't accept that emotion. And then if you start to get depressed or sad, you try to swing it to back. No, there's nothing wrong with like pivoting and trying to achieve a certain inner state. That's what we're all basically trying to achieve. But the first step is it comes with acceptance. It's the difference between if you saw your inner child or a friend on your doorstep crying. It's the difference between saying, hey, come on in, let's get you a hug and a cup of tea. Tell me what's going on. That's accepting that behavior and that part of yourself. And then there's the difference between saying to that friend, oh, I don't know what you're crying about. Why don't you go back, get yourself right, and then come back on the doorstep fixed. So are you saying that to yourself? You see what I'm saying? Are you telling yourself, go away, fix it? Or are you saying, let me sit with you until this passes naturally, and then let's try and feel better and think positively or see the bright side of the situation. There's a difference between denying and trying to alchemize or transform a state, and accepting and trying to alchemize or transform a state. And I think that's what you've come to this reading to discern the difference. Because I think it has to do, it's going to affect obviously your inner state, but it's affecting how much motion forward your world can achieve at what rate. Because the very denying of it is you're denying the manifestation. So that's why I think a lot of things don't go anywhere when you want them to, and they have no stability because you've denied something within yourself. And so it's mirroring it back out to you. So it could be like you're really excited about a relationship and then it just fizzles out. And you're like, that's so weird. But you weren't even letting yourself get excited about it. So how can you expect the universe to reflect that back to you? Because you said it's not okay for that to feel that good. Does this make sense? I hope it is. Same with a job or something. Apply that to whatever, wherever it's impacting your life, because I feel like there's a lot of harmony and prosperity here. There's a lot of leadership energy. There's a lot of newness, a lot of accelerated motion, a lot of opportunities and possibilities, a lot of healing here, a lot of passion. There's the potential for your life to become technicolor and become smoother and feel like a rhythm and feel like a dance that you're participating in and that you're orchestrating, as opposed to a player in a game and you're trying to navigate and you're trying to figure it out and you're trying to bluff. You know what I mean? There's a difference. And I feel like you want to move to that elevated state where you feel good and you feel confident and you feel like a part of you're creating with the universe. I'm going to get a final message for you here. Final message for pile 3. And for some of you, this really has to do with healing something that people have been saying about you. Like I said, like oh, you can't make up your mind. You can never make a decision. Oh, you leave fires in your... It's something, it's reflecting back to you something that you feel about yourself that wants to be hugged and held and soothed and accepted. Accepted, and then you can choose where you want to go from there, if you want to change it or if it suits you perfectly. Final message for pile 3, please. Yeah, and for some of you, this is like tendencies that you would label, or someone has labeled as dark, like addiction or some sort of negative behaviors or jealousy or it could be like habits you have, like negative habits that you're like uncomfortable even expressing to people, or I saw something and then it went away. It like went back in the shadow. But like you have a lot of guilt and like you beat up on yourself about these things. But these are the things that need to be held and embraced and soothed and normalized. Like no one, like a lot of people don't talk about their stuff, but everyone has these things. Trust me, it's not just you. But it's possible that someone like saw it in you and called you out and you felt so much shame. That needs to be healed. That's what the reading's trying to tell you. Like that deepest, darkest secret that you're like, I can't believe I do this. I hate this about myself. That's the darkness that wants to be embraced and doesn't want you to be, it doesn't want you to be afraid to look at it and say, that's okay. That's okay. That is okay. All of it is part of me. All of it I'm learning from. All of it is something wanting to be expressed. All of it is something wanting to be loved. All of it is something wanting to be seen and worked with a curious energy. How can I, approach this? What is this trying to tell me? What am I needing here that this is fulfilling for me? Really being tender and gentle with yourself and just embracing and accepting yourself. It's possible that some of you are therapists or therapy would be helpful for you. Full moon. Okay, so we just had this, yeah. So we just came out of a full blood moon. Protect your energy and hold your stars close. Why is that coming out? I don't really get anything from that for you, except for the fact that we just went through a full moon. Protect your energy. Is somebody still at you about this all the time? Full moon. Oh, I guess I'm getting you one of these cards because I just randomly picked them up and started shuffling. I didn't even notice. This is a message from your spirit guide card. Let's see if this makes more sense. Oh, you have a full moon here too. Full moon in Sagittarius, which is like a culmination of something. It's possible that something happened that brought this to a peak, because there's also a full moon here. It's possible that something just happened on the full moon, or it's just, full moon energy. Yeah, because now it's disseminating moon, take time to breathe out. So it's possible that something just happened that it kind of like blew the lid off all this, like a relationship completely exploded, or a job exploded, or something happened that you felt exposed, and you're like, I gotta like look at this, and I don't know what I'm looking at, but I gotta look at something within myself that's causing this chaos in my external world, because something like, like a fiery climax, does that sound familiar? Like a big argument, or a big possible, like, you got arrested or something, like, you know what I'm saying? Like one of those tower moments where you're like, oh Jesus, let me like take a look at myself here. But yeah, it's possible that something just happened and you're now like, okay, breathe out, reset, recenter. You're looking for answers. You're looking for healing. You're trying to do the right things to bring balance and this harmony back into your world. Your spirit message says, find ways to fill your cup, be self-full. I've never had this card. Follow your heart, always trust your intuition, go deep within and find your triggers and address them one by one. Guys, I can't even get through that card because this is what we've just been saying. I love this, and I've never got this card in this deck. That's why I don't even know what I'm reading. That's why I'm like, I get so excited. Self-healing is the best healing. Yes, only then can you offer the best version of yourself. Okay, so I get this. You're going through this time of deep inner exploration, deep being in the now. Something probably triggered it. That's why you're here. This, like I said, passion, and then this sadness, this polarizing. You're swinging all over the place. And like, I'm going to read this again and hold it up if you want to screenshot it, because this is what I would focus on for the next 30 days. Finding ways to fill your cup and be self-full. Things that nurture yourself. What is like hugging yourself? Picture you're just chilling with your inner child for the next 30 days and doing whatever they need. Always trust your intuition. Go deep within. Don't run from the darkness. Embrace your shadow side. What aspects of yourself have you been afraid to look at? That's the deep. Find your triggers and address them one by one. Self-healing is the best healing. Only then can you offer the best version of yourself, and only then will your outer world reflect your inner state. Really powerful. Wow. Please do not beat up on yourself. Please do not beat up on yourself. Hold yourself so tightly. You are who you are. You are beautiful and unique. There's nothing wrong with you. If anyone ever said there's something wrong with you, they are wrong. Do not listen to them. You're perfect. You're whole. You're unique. You chose this journey. You're figuring it out. We are all figuring our stuff out. You're doing an amazing job. There's nothing wrong with you. You did not fail. You are not tarnished. You are not scorned. You are not cursed. You are a powerful soul here on your journey to discover yourself and to discover what lights you up in this life. And you are unpacking a lot here, and you are figuring this out. And this is going to be a time. And this is an exciting new challenge for you. Make yourself and this time with yourself your new exciting challenge. Because I really think that it's going to bring you into a new, like it said, birthing a new age, a new world for you. I would say by the next full moon, you feel like a completely different person if you focus on this inner work and uncovering the treasure chest that is you, and examining all the trinkets inside and asking questions and being curious. Why do I do that? What's my motivation? What's my intention? What do I need when I do that? Do I like this about myself? Do I not? Like, I accept it all, but is it something I want to carry forward with me, or is it something that I feel like served its purpose? You know, I would use tools, use resources, look online, use Google. Like I said, therapists, different modalities, whatever you feel called to. Journaling, you don't have to. You can do it all within yourself, whatever you literally feel called to. Really, really, really powerful reading. Sending you guys all my love. If you did resonate with this and you want to exchange energy, a like, a subscribe, a comment helps me grow this channel on my journey to get my 1,000 subscribers and become monetized, 1,000 plus, and become monetized so that I can continue to share my gifts and do this for my life's work. If not, no worries. Thank you so much for being here and allowing me to read for you. If you did get messages, if you did feel drawn to another pile, then I will see you in that group for the rest of your messages. If not, I will see you in another reading on another day. Bye. Hi, pile 4. Welcome to your reading. You chose this crystal here. A little charm, kind of. And card 17, trust your faith. Dive into the unfolding journey. What is your faith asking of you? And even though you're group 4, I'm just seeing the 17 highlighted. So I'm not sure if that's your birthday or a meaningful age, or you have a child who's 17. There's something with 17, or that's like your partner. But even though you're pile 4, I'm filming you first, and I don't usually do that. So that could have significance. Not me having like fuzz all over this black shirt. Okay, so let's find out what's going on for you. What's the strongest energies? Something that would really benefit you to be aware of right now, wherever you are when you find this message. This could be in 5 years that you find this message. It could be at the time of uploading, because time and space is an illusion. Okay, so fertility coming out. This is the Empress card, card 3. So right away, if that's meaningful to you, I would say you're in the right place. This could have something to do with actual birth fertility, or this could have to do with birthing something, planting a seed, wanting to manifest something into this 3D reality. Base chakra. Okay, so having to do card 1, having to do with your security, your feeling of stability, your feeling of even your feeling of power in this world, like your ability to bring forth and create in this world. What else here? Walking away and the thinking man. Okay, card 27 and the thinking man. This could be like the King of Swords energy. It doesn't have to be a male figure. It's not gender specific in these card readings. It's just a thinking person, but it could be somebody who's considering something. This could be you or somebody else. And now it's interesting that, if I can draw your attention, this figure in your first card, card 17, is walking away, or are they walking towards something? So whenever you're walking away, I always like to think of it myself as in you're walking towards something else. And this can even be walking towards your own peace. So if some of these messages are something that's been on your mind or your energy, again, then I would say you're in the right place. So let's continue and see what this is all about. Another card, 17. Okay, so 17's got to be a number for you. I don't know what, but you now have 2 17s. So this is the Fates. This is like the Star card. This is like something, a wish fulfilled, something that is meant to happen, something that is on your path for a reason, something that's fated, something that you can trust in. And now it's interesting that I keep saying the Fates, and then this card says trust your faith. What is your faith asking of you? Now, it depends what your belief system is and what faith means to you, but that feeling of, I know this is going to work out, I don't have any explanation for it, and even the physical reality may be showing otherwise, but I know that this is for me, and I know that it's a matter of time until I will experience this. Just very quickly, I give this example a lot, but for example of fate, when I was first married, I was having a number of female reproductive issues, and the doctors told me, oh, you're not going to be able to have children, for example. So they said, just come off the birth control, because I'd been on birth control since I was like 13, they had put me on that because I was having very difficult, painful cycles. And they were like, you need to come off the birth control because there's absolutely no reason to be taking that. If you're, blah, 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 it's only messing up your system more. So I stopped taking it. And 1 month later, I was pregnant with my daughter. So for me, I always see that as that's something that was fated. That was something that was meant to come into my life. Whatever way I sliced that cake, she was coming into this world and I was going to be her mom. Regardless of what the doctors said and all of the tests said, it really was just like bypassing reality. It's something that was intended and destined and agreed upon before, you came into this physical body, if that's what you believe in, or something that God or whatever you believe in or the universe has prepared for you. But there's whatever you've come to this reading on your heart, with 2 17s, I would even look that up, and those reduce to 2 8s in numerology. I would look that up for you. It's possible your birthday is 8/8 or your birthday is like 8/17. Or there's some meaning, there's some significance to that. It's possible that if you're trying to get pregnant, that could be the birth date of your future child. Anyways, I'll just move off of that because it's not necessarily only about children. I'm just giving those examples. But whatever you came to this reading on your mind, something that's kind of in your conscious awareness, either bothering you or you're wondering about, you have 2 cards right away at the center of your reading saying it's fated, trust in your faith, it's going to unfold. What are you being asked of to continue on this journey? And then you have a leg up, which again, there's a like mama or papa polar bear here and a little baby polar bear. So I don't mean to keep bringing up parenthood and childbirth, but there is, quite a bit of imagery here about that. But like I said, fertility can be with birthing anything into this world that you have a desire for and you want to bring forth, because the womb is that portal of the literal unseen being birthed into the physical reality. Literally, it's the most, magical expression of manifestation, something that was not, and then suddenly it is. So this can be about anything in your world that you're trying to birth into this 3D reality. I want to keep that there. I'm just going to get one more of these cards, I'm feeling. Chop wood. Okay, card 42. That could be an H for someone. That just came up. Okay, so chop wood, carry water is a phrase that means regardless of what's going on in your life, don't stop doing the things that need to be done. It's very base chakra, actually, and I instinctively put it under the base chakra. It's that concept of there are things that we need to do in life, like chop wood, like in the olden days. I mean, it still could be relevant now, depending on where you live. Chop wood to keep your home warm, and carry water to make sure you have things to drink and to bathe with. And so, there was a time when, regardless of if there was war going on, regardless if somebody was sick, regardless if there was job loss, regardless if there was, hostility going on or celebration, or like even, it doesn't have to be bad things. Maybe there was a marriage going on. Maybe there was a birth of a baby. Regardless of what's going on in your world, you're still going to need to chop wood and carry water. That stuff's still going to need to be done in the day to make sure that you have that basic stability, so that when it gets dark at night, this person, whoever we're talking about, could put wood in their fire, or in the very, very olden days, like caveman days, build a fire, and they would have water at the ready in order to survive. So it's that concept of whatever is going on in your life. The advice is don't become distracted from the things that you need for basic survival needs. And in fact, focusing on that might bring you a lot of peace, focusing on that simplicity and kind of that trust of, even if I just do the basics, even if I just do the bare minimum, make sure I have a roof over my head, make sure me and my loved ones are safe and cared for, this other thing is going to happen. So I don't need to worry about it, and I don't need to focus on the timing, and I don't need to necessarily try and push it forward or put a lot of mental stress or energy into wondering or worrying about it. When the timing is right, it's going to happen, and I just need to do what I feel called to do in that moment. But I do feel like you're going to get some sort of leg up, like it says here, some sort of help or support, either in your reality or divine support. And also, we didn't really talk much about this walking away and the thinking man. I haven't really got a message for it yet, so I'm going to keep pulling cards until it naturally comes up. Feel for that. I do keep seeing this number 34 highlighted too. There's a lot of numbers in here. You might resonate with numerology. Maybe you see a lot of repeating numbers. Oh wait, because 17 and 17 is 34. Okay, I got it. That's what was trying to come through. So you have 34. You see the math here? The math is mathing in your pile. You could have a scientific or mathematical background, I'm seeing. Like you could do something that involves that, or like quantum things. There's a lot of like just geometry here. So you have 17 and 17, and then you have 34, which was being highlighted for me. I kept seeing 34. So it's almost like when two things come together, it's going to equal math. It's going to make sense, or it's going to... I feel like there's more actually that I'm not seeing. This is a 9, this is a 10, this is a 6. The 2 8s we talked about. You could be an air sign, or a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, air. Yeah, I always get confused with Aquarius because the symbol is the figure with the cistern of water. So I always think Aquarius is water, but waters is Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. Okay, so we have coming out for you, dance with life, do something to change your energy, and priestess, how are you being called to step up and lead? Okay, I'm getting a little bit for this card. The other ones, I feel so out of the energy. I have to get more information here. There's a little lack of flow, which is probably why the dance with life card came out. I see how you could be very mental. Even if you're not an air sign, I see just either something you do for work or just what life has caused you to develop in your like egoic identity. I see you being very intellectual and in your mental space. Thinking, analyzing, considering, weighing options. I do feel Libra here for sure. And so maybe this trusting is difficult for you. Like I feel like you're the type of person that would just keep going down the line of solutions. Instead of just saying, like if you're trying to achieve A and you try plan A and that doesn't work, then you go to B, then you go to C, then you go to D, then you go to E. And I feel like maybe you're getting to the end of the options and you're starting to panic a little bit internally. And I don't think anyone would know you're panicking because I don't think it comes out. I think this is in your internal world. You're feeling very insecure and unsafe about something in your world. But I think what the reading is trying to tell you, what's going on, is that there's a shift that needs to be made in your energy from out of this mental, analytical, analyzing to this faith, miracle-based thinking, which I feel like is very foreign to you. Even when I told that story about my daughter being born, I feel like part of your mind was like trying to make it make sense. Like when maybe they read the wrong tests, or maybe that doctor didn't know what they were talking about. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I almost feel like you're not, and there's nothing wrong with this. None of this is a criticism. I'm just analyzing the energy as completely neutral observation. The only reason it matters is if it's preventing you from achieving something that you're trying to bring in. It could be beneficial for you to know what energy to shift into. And I feel like it's this dance with life energy. Do something to change your energy. I think you're too in the mental, and there needs to be more flow, because there's not as much flow in the reading as usual. I can feel there's a separateness. Like these two cards feel so separate from this initial spread. The energy is completely different. Like it's foreign to you. It's foreign in the reading. You could be foreign might mean something to you. Like, do you work for, are you somewhere foreign to you? I got to clarify this walking away card because the card is so quiet. I'm not getting anything from it. I mean, it's obviously, I could say, I think there's something you need to walk away from, but that's not like the strongest message coming through. Okay, so this is clarifying walking away. Okay, stop in reverse. What the heck? Okay, stop in reverse means go. Okay, that was very clear, actually. I don't take reversals unless it so clearly comes out in reverse that I can't deny it and I feel like it's accurate. Okay, so to clarify walking away, you have stop in reverse, which means go. Like, don't stop. So if it said stop, I would say stop. You're walking, like, don't walk away, stop. But it's saying, like, no, keep going. Like, don't stop. So if there's something that, like, that's a pretty powerful, clear clarifier. So if there is, only take this if it resonates. If you're like, oh, I know what this is. Like if you just gave notice at your job, or you just ended a relationship, or you're about to do it, or you're thinking about it. Whatever it is you're thinking of walking away from, some sort of partnership, a deal, a home, a deal is coming up again. Like if you had a deal going on, like a house deal or a business deal, and you feel like, I think I got to walk away. If you've heard in your head, you got to walk away from this deal, or you got to walk away from this, don't stop. Walk away. Trust your gut. Trust your gut on this. Okay, so that's clarifying that. So for some of you, if that resonates, if you're currently searching in your mind for what it could be, then don't take that message, because it is an offside message. Usually if it's like in the upper left-hand corner, it's like something in the past or something that's kind of in your current, but is already shifting out of your energy. And it's not like a huge player like the other things in the center. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's the message for somebody else. If you do know what I'm talking about, that's a confirmation message to continue to walk away from this thing that you already felt intuitively was not for you. Okay, let's clarify. I still need a little bit more information. Let me get one more of these. Let's clarify the High Priestess, or the Priestess. Where are you being called to step up and lead? Okay, there could be Leo here. There's two lions here on this card that are being highlighted for me, or there could be Egyptian descent, or you could resonate with Egypt, like lineage, or you could have wanted to go there. So something could be on your mind. You could resonate with Cleopatra as an archetype. Okay, disruption coming. Oh, okay. I see a little bit here. Okay, you got disruption coming out for how are you being called to step up and lead. I'm getting a fairly strong message coming out now that the thing that you're trying to bring through, it's possible that you are either aware that it's being blocked by somebody or you're unaware, but it's being blocked by somebody. And that's like very soft energy. Like no one can block something that's for you or meant for you or fated from you. But if you're going down a path and, a cow or a bull comes out into the path and blocks the path, it's going to require you to maneuver around that obstacle, right? Even though the cow and the bull cannot stop you from moving forward. But if you stop just because it's been put in your path, then it will appear as though, that you cannot move forward. So I feel like there's something in this plan or this thing that's on your mind, whatever this situation is for you, that it appears as though something is in the way and you're being called to bring a disruptor energy. Disruption sounds like a negative thing. I love that they made this card pink, whoever is the author of this deck, because disruption energy is so necessary. Oh my gosh, it's so necessary in the world. Now, not disruptive for no reason. That's toxic. But I'm talking about disruptive in that someone who goes against the flow. For example, if water is trying to be rerouted somewhere that it's needed, whoever those engineers are, like who build dams and aqueducts, they have to disrupt the natural flow of that water in order to reroute it to the place that they are desiring it goes. So it's that type of energy where I feel like there's something in your life with this situation that you're maybe taking a little bit more of a passive approach. Like I said, no one would know that it's bothering you. No one would know that it's on your mind. You're very in your own inner world, where I feel like what the message that's coming out for you is you're being called to be more vocal and step up and lead and express and disrupt something in like a positive leadership way. For example, if there's a project going on at work or something that you're a part of, some sort of huge thing, and you just keep feeling like this isn't the way, we need to walk away from this deal, we need to stop performing in this way, we need to stop functioning in this way, we need to move away from this, belief system, we need whatever it is. Or you want something and someone's just saying no, for example. You know what I mean? I see, and you're like, well, I'm in control of my own life, so that's something that I'm going to do. I'm going to step up and I'm going to pursue this, regardless of what this person, is telling me. Could be strong, strong influence coming from a parent or a family member or a partner or a boss. Something like this where you're like, I really just feel like I have to step up, say what is true for me, and disrupt the natural flow of this. And, it is what it is. Not everyone's going to be with me, but I am going this way. I am forging my own path on this. I am moving around this obstacle. And if I need to disrupt a little bit of the brush because I've stepped off the path to make my way around this bull, then I'm going to disrupt it because I am moving forward with this when I feel called to. I feel that that's a strong message coming through. Let me get some final messages here. Definitely do something to change your energy, like the dance with life, getting a little bit more into the flow. Yeah, expect powerful change. I'm really feeling this. Oh, wow, guys, new moon eclipse. So we're in an eclipse right now. I think it happened last night at the time that I'm filming this. I think it was a lunar eclipse. There was a blood full moon. There's a lot going on in the astro world. So you have an eclipse card here. We are in a time of powerful change. If you look up eclipse season and what that means, it's a time of powerful change. So I do see something that this situation involves change being required. Like I said, when you step up and disrupt this it's not natural flow, disrupt the way that it's going and vocalize that your preference and vocalize your authority and autonomy and sovereignty and rights to pursue something that you want for your life, and this walking away from whatever that is it's going to bring about powerful change, and it's going to realign you with this path that you're on, with this path of this fated path, that something is unfolding. But why you're coming to this reading and then why this message is coming out is because there is something that you need to do here. There's either something you need to walk away from or let go of, and or there's something you need to speak up on and start to assert your own autonomy and your own creatorship abilities and say, thank you for your opinion, but I'm moving forward with this. I'm leading on this. I'm the leader of my life, and this is something that I feel strongly I'm going to do. And there's something about whatever this is you're trying to birth into this world, flowing your energy a little bit more, coming out of this thinking man energy where you're over analyzing and trusting in the flow of life, and trusting in the messages that you're getting internally, trusting in the desire itself, that you have that desire for a reason, and that it's valid. And even if other people don't believe in it, that doesn't matter. I'm going to get you one final card from this Angel Tarot. Okay, what came out is the Five of Ariel. You needn't go through your current challenges alone. Help is nearby. Negative thoughts create self-fulfilling prophecies. There's a 5 there. So 5 can be stuck energy. Like 5 is probably the least desirable number in the tarot. But this one is basically highlighting for you that, like I said, this self-fulfilling prophecies, there could be something you're kind of over analyzing or thinking about yourself, or that keeps recreating the same situation and the same kind of outcome. I would definitely call on whatever you believe in for support, God, angels, universe, if there's people in your world that you can call on for support, because whatever this challenge is, it's indicating you don't need to go through this alone. So call for help, but negative belief systems will recreate that in your world. So if you feel like you're helpless, if you feel like you're stuck, if you feel like you're not good enough, your reality is going to reflect back to you your beliefs. I'm going to get one of these messages for you as a final message. I'm going to wrap this up. If this did resonate, I would love if you want to exchange energy by liking, subscribing, or leaving a comment. That helps me tune into your energy more. And of course, it helps my channel to grow, because I am on my journey to get the channel monetized and 1,000 subscribers or more. But that's the monetization level on YouTube. And that will help me continue to do this for my life's work and help others and use my gifts. If not, thank you so much for being here anyway. Okay, this is so funny. Okay, so when I just looked at the bottom of the deck there, I don't know if the camera caught it. This was the card, and then it came out when I shuffled. So your final message here is control. Link your own constellations and take control. Okay, I didn't think it was going to say that. I thought it was going to say like release control or something, No, take control. That's exactly what this says. How are you being called to step up and lead? Okay, so whatever this thing is, I'm really getting like strong energy in like my solar plexus here, my heart chakra, like an excitement. Whatever this is, there's some aspect here that your encouragement is to take control of the situation. And like I said, all of the whole message that came out, walking away from something, expecting powerful change, speaking up and leading on whatever this thing is that you want to bring in, calling in support where you need to, and trusting in it, of course, flowing with it. But I feel like you are being called. You're getting intuitive nudges. There's something internal where you're like, I really feel like I want to move on this, or I really feel like this is going to happen, or I really feel like this is for me, or I really feel like I should pursue this, or walk away from this, or move forward towards this. Whatever that is, this message that you're getting here is confirmation of all that. Keep doing the things that you need to do. There's support nearby. Yeah, you did have this other support card with the leg up, and then you have the help is nearby. Call on the support where you can call on it. Shift your energy out of the mental, move a little bit more into like grounded, flowy energy, a little bit more of the magical realm, a little bit more of the mysticism. Like, this is good that you're here, that you're looking into an intuitive reading. I don't know if that's normal for you or if this is new for you. It could be new for you, where you're kind of like starting to explore this high priestess energy, this like, oh, there's things that I know that I didn't read in a book. Like that's the shift that you're making. not all wisdom and knowledge is going to come from studying something or from facts. There's this internal wisdom that you hold, that is your soul, that is eternal, that came here, holds all this wisdom, combined with ancestors, angels, spirit guides, God, the universe, all of this knowledge, that it's within you. And it's that tuning into that and starting to trust those intuitive nudges and follow them through, that I think is the energy shift that's going to benefit this situation for you. So thank you so much for being here and giving me the honor of reading for you today. I hope that brought you some clarity. As always, if you feel called to another pile, there could be more messages for you there. So if you're going there, I will see you there shortly. If not, I will see you on another reading, on another day. Bye.